By now, God has given me two messages to deliver to his people. The first one was to encourage his people to get their priorities in order so that they actually get on with building God's house rather than prioritizing their own houses. And then the second message, a short while afterwards, was to encourage them when they were feeling discouraged by the lack of splendor that this new temple that they were building have, and so to encourage them to keep on building. Well, it's December the 18th, 520 BC, and I've just come back from giving God's people another message. Now, this time it started by asking the priests a technical question about the purity laws. The question was this: if someone is carrying meat that has been made holy in the folds of their clothes, but that fold touches something ordinary, some bread or other food, does that food become holy? They answered no. So then I asked, if someone has touched a dead body and so is unclean, and they touch the bread or other food, does that food then become defiled? And they answered yes, which is all correct. The point God was getting me to make is that holiness can't simply be caught, whereas defilement can. And the people of God have been defiled as demonstrated by the plagues, and now they need to find a way to be purified. God cannot simply tolerate a defiled people because it runs counter to his own holiness, and they cannot do what is required of them to make them holy, sacrifice, because the temple is in ruins, it's not yet been built. And yet on this day, by his decree, God declares them to be holy. It's of his ability and freedom to make that kind of declaration of his people. And that's because of that day coming when his Messiah will be here, when he will make that ultimate sacrifice to purify his people, and then purity will flow freely from him. But God has just given me another message, this time to bring to Zerubbabel, the governor of Judah. So I'm heading off now to give him this message. The message from God is that he is going to shake everything, heavens and earth, foreign kingdoms and powers and armies. Though I don't think God means a literal physical shaking, he certainly means a complete upheaval of the universe. From that point on, everything will be changed. And the reason? Well, it's because he's going to make Zerubbabel his special king. But I don't think he means literally our governor Zerubbabel any more than he meant King David or King Solomon. I think he means that special one who is going to come in his line, the Messiah who will rule God's people. When he comes, he'll be the kind of king that we can follow, that we can give our lives to and love and devotion. He's a king who will overthrow the enemies of God and who will cause his people to live in peace in the eternal future that God gives to his people. How we long for this king to come.